Jessica Olson is a Catholic wife, mom of 5, and skilled wedding and lifestyle photographer running her business, Northbound Photography, with her husband Adam. She joins me today in a precious moment of quiet time to discuss how she does it all while growing in her faith. So go grab a coffee and sit down, because we need to talk. Today on Catholic Homework, I am blessed to be chatting with Jessica Olson of the stunning wedding and lifestyle photography company, Northbound Photography. Hi, Jessie. Welcome to Catholic Homework.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, Jessie, before we dive into our discussion about balancing home, work, and holiness, could you share a little about your background, like how you got started with Northbound Photography and what life is like for you and your family, balancing the travel of on-site photography sessions and the day-to-day of family life?
Yeah, so it's actually funny when I look back through my life and look at it through the lens of kind of what God was doing. I can see that my path to photography actually started as a child. Specifically, I think probably around the 5th grade is really when I just started to take a camera with me everywhere I went, and I just wanted to document life. I loved life and I wanted to remember it in that way. So then as I got older, I still, like every time we went on a family trip or I went on a field trip or just special life events or parties, I just always had a camera with me. And then it never really occurred to me that it was anything. I wouldn't even have considered it a hobby at that point. It was just me loving life and documenting it. And then it really wasn't until I met my husband when we were in college and he was going to school for graphic design and photography was a part of that, that we started taking pictures together. So he really introduced me to this whole new world of like photography, but more as a hobby. And some of our favorite things to do together while we were dating was to take our cameras just for walks and take pictures of what we found. And then we started taking pictures of friends' weddings. So friends knew that we enjoyed doing that and started.
Were you going to photography school at the time? Is that what you were in school for?
Oh no, I majored in Spanish actually. So again, like that was me having no clue. And so I just always think it's funny when I realize where I am now and like how I got here, because it was never on my radar ever at any point that I could do this as a potential career one day.
Wow. So God just started drawing you both in that direction together. So when you
Yes.
photographing other people's moments at that point, and wow, how long ago was that?
So we photographed our first wedding, I think in 2012. So that was before we were even engaged. And then we got married in 2014. And I think in 2014, we photographed like 7 weddings or something. So it really has been like a God thing all along, just putting opportunities in front of us and us just following that. And it just has, progressed every year. And we've been able to just photograph more and more weddings. And it's just been a really beautiful experience. And it's a wonderful thing for us to be able to do together.
Yeah. Wow. What a beautiful thing to combine your vocations in that way with your marriage and your work. It just seems so beautiful. And you can see I'm on your website right now, northboundphoto.com, and I was just looking at the about section and seeing pictures of you two working together and pictures of your family is just really beautiful. Can see God's work in that for sure. So that you started your business before you had children, before you were married, before you were even engaged. And how did your business and marriage and family, how did that all impact each other as you did get married and start a family?
Yeah, so that's actually funny too, because again, it was not something that we planned at all. I don't, we didn't go into photographing weddings and think this is going to be like our career, something we're going to really pursue. It was just something we were doing for friends, really, and it was kind of, the side income was nice. Um, and so, actually, what we did first is we had the opportunity to buy a Catholic bookstore, and we did that actually before we were even engaged. And our
Wow.
plan at that point, yeah. So that was a big step in trust. Because we, knew that we were pursuing marriage, even though we weren't officially engaged yet. So we took that big step together. And, all along, our priorities were to, we knew that we wanted our future to look like, that we wanted to have a family and we wanted our life to be centered around that family.
Mm.
And so we were open to having a lot of kids. And so we were trying to make decisions that would help us lead us in that direction.
I hear one of
So
them right now,
we,
I think. Am I hearing one of them?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you're hearing, yeah, the whole
How old is your
whole
youngest
crew
right
over there.
now?
She's one, and she's the one taking a nap right now. So.
Okay, and then so she's not the one making the noise. So how many children do you have, maybe for the listeners?
Sure, we have 5 kids. The oldest is 9, and then we have 9, 8, 7, 4. No, she's not 4 yet. 3 and 1.
Okay, and you're still homeschooling. You're homeschooling how many? 3?
Yes.
So, and then you've got the younger 2 that you're not yet, but will be. Yes.
Correct.
And then you also run a photography business
Yes.
while homeschooling.
Yes.
What does that look like in a regular day?
Well, it is pretty chaotic, actually, trying to trying to make sure that I am having that work-life balance and juggling everything. A lot of times that means I'm answering emails between changing diapers and making breakfast and trying to sneak in editing time. We're pretty lucky because Adam is a teacher, so he has summers off. And so I do spend a lot of my summer then. We kind of trade off. And so I spend a
Because
lot
that
of
would
my
be
summer.
high season for photos and wedding events, right in the summer.
Yes,
So that is a
it is.
good balance.
Yep. So that has balanced out really well for us. So we kind of switch off in that way. And during our really busy seasons when Adam gets home from school, I sometimes leave and we'll go to we have terrible internet, so a lot of times I have to leave and go work somewhere else. But it's nice to have that quiet time away from the kids. So a lot of times it's having to kind of chunk my time and know that I'm homeschooling in the morning and I'm trying to get work stuff done in the afternoon, or it's just a lot of late nights because, mom life, there's not always a lot of time during the day to get that
Right.
work stuff.
Totally get that. So how does being a Catholic mom, a Catholic photographer, specifically affect your days or your work?
Well, just the photography aspect of it, we haven't like made a jump to be just specific Catholic photographers. We do photograph non-Catholic weddings, and we've met some wonderful people doing that, and so it's hard for me to just totally commit to doing Catholic weddings. But our Catholic couples have shared with us that it really is invaluable to have a Catholic photographer be a part of their wedding day, because to have that shared faith it makes such a difference. And knowing that, because when you have a Catholic wedding, usually for those couples, the ceremony is just the absolute most important part of the day. And so to have people who get it and we know the mass so well, so we can capture things that somebody who's not Catholic like wouldn't maybe recognize as being a super important and impactful part of the ceremony itself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I suppose capturing the beauty um, in those moments, and the true, yeah, the beauty, and your photography. I am just looking at the pictures again while we're talking here, but your the photographs themselves really seem to be just like imbued with light, and capture these natural moments, and like what, I don't know, is that an effect that you use that makes the photos just seem so full of light?
Well, it is an editing choice. I suppose there's different directions that you can go in that. And Adam and I have always liked more true to life photos, but the way that we photograph also tries to focus on that light. And we look for like backgrounds that will really highlight the light, I guess.
Yeah. Um, Specifically your wedding photos and those capturing the natural moments, not so posed. That the photos themselves just seem so so natural and lovely. I think lovely is
Yeah,
a good word for
yeah, and I think that that comes from really like we really strive to have a relationship with our clients, and I think that that kind of creates like a it causes them to be more comfortable with us and us with them, and then you're able to get those more natural, not so stiff posed pictures because um, we go into weddings and engagement sessions as friends with these people that we're traveling alongside them in one of the most important parts of their life.
it. Okay. And so do these people generally just reach out to you, or how do you meet your clients, and where are you doing most of your work in the US?
We started out by getting couples who were mostly referrals from other weddings that we had taken, and we still do get quite a few referrals. But now, if there is somebody out there that is planning a wedding and you're looking for Catholic vendors, there is a new website you can go to called the Catholic Bridal Collective,
Ooh.
and their purpose is to put together a list of different Catholic vendors. So if you want to have a Catholic florist or a Catholic photographer or videographer, I think there's even stationery on there. It's a place where you can go to find those people. And we joined 2 years ago, I think. And so we've actually, a lot of people have been finding us through that. And so we photograph mostly in Wisconsin. We're usually traveling a little bit more to like the Milwaukee area or Madison. Um, and so that's where we're
Okay.
photographing mostly. And
What types of sessions do you do? You do engagement photos? Wedding?
yeah, we include an engagement session with all of our wedding packages because that is how we get to know our couples, and it's kind of like a practice
Hmm.
session, I guess we say, for the wedding, so that when we get there on the wedding, they're totally comfortable in front of the camera. They're totally comfortable with us. We know each other that much better, and it's just really a fun time for us to get to know them.
Hmm. That sounds very practical. Makes a lot of sense to me. So, being a working mom and a homeschooling mom, um, I feel that it sometimes becomes overwhelming. So, how do you prioritize your spiritual life and still make time for prayer amidst all of that you've got going on?
That's something that I'm still trying to figure out. And it's definitely not perfect. I think we prioritize family prayer and we spend a lot of time um, doing that as a family. And I'm slowly but surely trying to find those times during my day to make the spiritual life more important. So we recently joined the domestic church group,
Mm.
which is for couples, and it's kind of to help us to help us on that journey of the spiritual life and personal prayer and prayer as a couple. So I've been a part of that is promising to do scripture reading every day and having time for personal prayer every day. So that's something that's not easy with 5 kids. It seems like every time I go to sit on the couch by myself quietly in the morning to have that time right away to start my day off with prayer, without fail, there's always little footsteps that come and jump on the couch with me and join me and ask me 100 questions. So I think sometimes that God is really just asking for what we're able to give him. So I think just throughout the day, I try to offer little bits of, the challenges of motherhood and also just life and work and business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so what advice would you have for other Catholic moms trying to balance work, homeschooling, and their faith journey?
I would say look for the positives. I think it can be really hard and sometimes really defeating to feel like you can't really commit yourself to any one specific thing. You can't, I don't feel like I am able to fully be like 100%, like give 100% to my kids, and I can't give 100% to my business. And that can be really difficult. And I think that if I look for the positives and really try to focus on what I am doing well, that can help me to keep going and not lose heart.
Yes. Okay, friends, then there's your homework, our homework. Let's focus on the positives this week. When we are tempted to get down, focusing on our exhaustion or on that feeling like we don't have enough time, we're going to focus on the positives. Okay, I think that this has been amazing, Jessie, and I really appreciate you visiting with me today. It's been so great having you on the show. Please share with the listeners where they can find you to stay in the loop on all you are doing.
Our website is www.northboundphoto.com, and you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Under Northbound Photo?
Northbound Photography, yeah.
Yep. Okay, great. As always, you all can stay connected with me, Verity Lucia, on Instagram and Facebook under author.verity.lucia and through my newsletter found on www.verityluciabooks.com. Also, it's not too late to pick up Secrets the Truth Will Out, a supernatural pro-life novel that will make the perfect stocking stuffer for the teen girl in your life. It's available now on Amazon. Thanks again, Jessie, and thanks to you all for listening. We will see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.